In this third tutorial, we're going to look at variables or variable types, the type of data they can hold, something called concatenation, and some simple arithmetic. Excuse me. If we look at this one here, we have the first variable is called student name, and it holds, what follows it is the in quotes. This is called a string variable, and it's called a string literal. What it means is anything in quotes is string, text is called string in programming, and anything between the quotes is what's actually held in the variable. So this variable student name will hold the value Paul Cannon. It's called a string literal. It literally holds whatever's within the between the quotes. You can also have numeric variables, which we've seen in the early tutorials, but just to recap those, you can have integers, so that's an integer, no decimal, or you can have reals, and you can have any amount of decimal numbers, reals with decimals. Let's just see what that, before we see what it looks like, let's look at concatenation. We know that document.write writes to the web page, and it writes whatever's between the brackets. Well, I've created a sentence here, and I'm using something called concatenation. Let's look at the first bit. So we've got a string literal. We know it's a string literal. It's not a variable. It's in quotes, so literally anything within quotes will be shown on the screen. But then we've got this plus symbol. It's not like adding together in arithmetic. It just joins string literals together, or string literals and variables. So the plus symbol will join the string literal, the words score 4 and the colon, and then whatever the contents of student name, that will be added to that. Then we've got another plus symbol, and we've got another string literal with the words is. Notice there's spaces either side, so we have a space after the name and before the score, and then finally another plus and another variable. It's called concatenation. Concatenation joins strings and variables together to make, if you like, one line or a sentence. Let's see what that looks like on screen. So I save it, I'm going to run it, and you get the sentence. So the first bit, score 4, was the string literal. Then we have the contents of the variable, student name, which comes out as Paul Cannon, is, and then the final bit, the contents of the score variable. Let's look at some basic arithmetic. So instead of the score, I'm going to have, let's do the average of, say, 3 scores for this student. And let's say the student scored 40 plus 60, that's 100, plus 50. So it's an average, so we have to divide, don't we, by 3. Just like in maths, what I've done there is incorrect, because in maths we know that the calculations are done in a particular order. So division comes before the plus. So this would divide 50 by 3, which isn't what I want. What I want to do is divide all 3 of these numbers by 3. Can you remember how to do that in maths? Well, it's the same in JavaScript. We have to put it in brackets. So anything you want calculated first, you put in brackets. So 40 plus 60 plus 50 will be added up first, and then the total of what's in the brackets will be divided by 3. So we should have the answer of 50. So let's save that, and let's run it again in Chrome. And there you can see, so we get the average of 50 calculated correctly. So that's variables and variable types, some simple arithmetic, and how to use concatenation. So what I want you to do is now go off and try that yourself. You can try different numbers or different things in there and get that working.